Awesome. We are here with Kim and Wanda Young. They are not married. They are
Business partners.
business partners.
Business
Yeah.
partners.
So you guys closed 8 wholesale deals already.
Yep.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And me and you guys partnered on about 4 of them, right? Was it 4?
Yep.
Yes.
At least four.
So that
It should have been more, but at least four.
those 8 deals, how much like total did you make in profit? Like what was your profit on it?
Um,
You remember?
did we make overall or our Wanda would have that number? We should have been probably
It's probably about 70,000 total.
yeah.
Wow, awesome. So I mean, uh, if someone told you before wholesaling real estate, hey, you can make 70,000 without investing your own cash or getting the debt, would you have believed them or no?
No, I
No.
wouldn't have.
Before I'm very optimistic. So before I'll probably yeah I'm a confident individual. So yeah, I would say yeah. Anything I get into, I think that I'm going to do well at once I put my mind into it. So yeah, but in truth, we should have made a lot more money than what we did. But so yeah, the answer is yeah. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, in the
Awesome.
business. Once I got into
What
real estate, go ahead, I'm sorry.
what got you started in real estate investing? What first got you started in it?
Um, I was in entertainment for 30 some odd years. I was a professional male dancer. I had an entertainment
Oh,
company. I had an
awesome.
entertainment company. I was one of the biggest male dancers in the city of Chicago and about 3 other cities. And then so I was kind of I had to pivot out of that industry, and I knew I couldn't go and work for anybody else. And so I started started looking into real estate and where we would fall at, and went to some seminars, met with some people, and then we just gravitated into wholesaling. It seemed to be the easiest way to get into the business. So I started going to meetings and things of that nature, and just kind of feeling, just trying to figure out a niche, which everybody needs to understand. Isn't you kind of just you have to stay focused once you figure out what your niche is. But for me, um, it was just I needed to get into something, and I've always been wanting to get into real estate. So that's why
Yeah,
real estate,
awesome.
but kind of a natural thing for me. And I love it. And I'm not going anyplace.
So what was your biggest, you would say, challenges like getting started?
Staying focused. Uh, Go ahead, Wanda. I'll let you answer yours.
Staying focused is one, but the biggest fear for me is not understanding the entire process and being afraid that I wouldn't know how to get a deal started or the rejection. Just getting started was the biggest thing. But
Yeah.
once we got
Uh,
started and once we started the process and actually started making money, then it became a lot easier.
Do you still know everything in today or no?
No, we're still learning.
Thank you.
We're still learning every day,
Me
and
too. Yeah.
that's the fun part about it is learning something
Awesome.
new every day.
So if you think you need to know everything before you get started, you'll probably never get started, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we had to fumble through a few of the deals and just made it work. The very first deal, we fumbled through it. We didn't know what we were doing. And we on the very first deal we made $6,000 and we were super, super excited
Did we
Awesome.
make 6 or 10? I think we made 10 on the first.
on the very first one.
Yeah, I think it was 10. That was the one that
Oh,
we was going to use Russell, but we ended up I ended up going. We found the investor, but we were going to use Russell on the first one. Remember? And the same day that we talked to Russell, that um, the same day that we talked to Russell, we had an investor that came to come in before we made the deal with him to go ahead and move forward.
yeah, they
Awesome.
put
That,
their earnest money down first. Yeah, I
right?
remember.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. That's what we did. Right.
So, so let's talk
So
about
so that should have been a deal that we were going to do with you too, Russell. So you would
yeah,
have been fine.
yeah, no problem. Let's talk about the deals that you close. Like, how are you finding your leads? Where are they coming from? What are you doing exactly? Like, what's your process there?
Or one, I found most of the deals. One of the deals that we found, I just went down to. It was during COVID. I went down to what was it? Harvey. I think I went down to City Hall in Harvey,
Midlothian.
Midlothian.
Midlothian. Mm-hmm.
No, it was in Harvey. And I went out to Harvey, or yeah, I think Harvey. At any rate, um, so it just hit me when I was in line that people are coming up here and paying these high taxes. So I just
Okay.
listened for a minute. And so one guy came out and I was like, he was in it, it was this guy's son. And he was he was just telling me that he wanted to they had some problem with some taxes, and
Yeah.
so I talked to him about, where was that. So I called his dad. His dad told me he had a property over in Midlothian, and he needed to get rid of it. And I told him
Great
we were
market
ready
there.
to buy it. Yeah, so just ear hustling, and it just hit me when I was down there, and I haven't went back to doing it, which is crazy because
Oh
one of
man.
the strategies that's kind of like a hidden gem that
Yeah,
nobody's doing, going down to the municipal buildings and just
exactly.
listening to some of these investors and homeowners that are in
A great
trouble
great
with these
idea
deals.
too is like find out where they have the court hearings for the code
Yes, this
violations,
is one.
and then
Yeah, I used to do
and just
that
show
too.
up and sit there and try to
Yes,
everybody.
I did that too. I would go to I got another deal by doing that. Just I went to a court and just sitting and listening.
When's
Yeah.
the last time you did that? Like, are
It,
you still doing that or no?
it was a minute. It was crazy because I never went back to it. I did a deal or two.
That's
COVID hit. What you know what happened? COVID hit, and so I stopped doing it because
uh,
COVID. That's
uh,
and that was during COVID actually. But yeah, that was a strategy that I think people need to do.
that's a really good
Especially
idea.
in some of these, in every area, you're gonna run into people, investors that's tired landlords, things of that nature.
Yeah, if you go to like, every village, every county
Yeah,
has a court hearing for code violations,
right.
Mm-hmm.
and you can
Every week, every week.
if you show up to all those violations, all those are property owners that, you know,
Absolutely.
have a problem. So you can
Right.
just go up there and pass out your card, and that's a really good
Absolutely. That's
strategy. I've personally never done that, but I think that's an awesome strategy to get leads. And pretty sure like every week they have something going on. So
right. Yeah, every couple, 2 or 3 times, every depending on the courthouse, every could be every day. You know,
yeah,
if that was a strategy that one would decided to take, absolutely, because it definitely worked. And I know that you do that 10 times, and we did. That's $100,000. Period.
exactly.
So,
Yeah, and you have hundreds of suburbs and different villages around
exactly.
Chicago that
It's
you can show up, you just go look online when the court hearings are and show up to the court and
absolutely. That's exactly what I did. I just went up there because we actually were trying to get a property that we were looking at, Russell, with you as well,
yeah.
and we were trying to get the taxes. I think that was the property. Remember the lady that lived in California? Um, it was a we kept trying to get this deal done, and the lady lived in California. Her dad owned the property, so we had to go down there, get the taxes, get the taxes paid for. I think we were
Mhm.
going to pay for them up front. I can't remember something, but I kept going. Went down there like 3 times, and the third time I went down there, I'm like, wait, there's a lot of people coming down here. So yeah, that definitely is a strategy, 100%.
Yeah. And I think we need to get back to that. Like when COVID
Yeah.
hit, I think we went away from all the meeting people in person and going to
Mm-hmm.
meet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think now is the
Absolutely.
time to start going back to the real estate meetings and going
Right.
back to
The
The
reels.
meetups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start doing that next week as part of my plan.
Yeah, I
So
used to go to when I started, I used to go to all the auctions and meet
right,
buyers and
that's what I
come up
did.
with money.
That
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's what
um
I did. I was going to the auctions as well before COVID hit. That's how I started first getting and everybody needs to understand too this. You'll find some really, really big investors at those auctions.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they don't care. They just care about what their number is. If you got the property and their number fits your property, I mean, fits, that's all they care about. You know, they're buying hundreds of properties. And you also meet like little groups there too. So I got probably my first 25, 30 investors,
Yeah.
quality investors. These are people that are buying, not playing around.
Right.
So I was
Yeah.
nervous though too.
Yeah, this business is all about relationships. Like I've met buyers like, 10 years ago that they still buy deals from us,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then vice versa. Like I've had students like 7, 8 years ago, I'm still closing deals with
Real
8 years
close deals with.
later,
That'll
right?
be us.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you guys, it's been how many years since we've first initially met? I think it
It's
was
been at least 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
At least
Right.
5 years.
So
Kevin
Hmm.
when we first got in.
so
A solid four.
that's like the next step for you guys is hey, I made 70,000 without cash or credit. You want to learn? Come on my
Right,
team. Come on my team, work for me. I'll teach you everything I know. We split the profits, right? So
right,
you start
Yes.
doing that today, then 5 years later, you have your own group of students that are now bringing you deals all the time. And I think that's your next step is like, hey, you got to start getting out there and planting seeds, growing, into people and mentoring people. And now you have a team of 10, 20 people. And it's not just you guys making offers, but you have 20 people that you've entered, and all of a sudden you're splitting profits with 20 plus people. And yeah, some people won't do nothing, that's part of the business. And then there'll be guys that close a deal every month with you, and then there'll be people that close a deal once a year. And that it's all different,
right,
right? So, but the more people you have, the more people you help, the more likely you're going to get deals, more deals, right? The more offers your
right.
team is.
Yes.
That too is like, we wanted to talk about this where how do you guys can start closing a deal every single week? Is that, start building that part where you're hopefully mentoring people. And then also you can start, I don't know if you guys hired before. Have you guys hired VAs or employees before?
We
Yeah,
have, we have, but we found that we do a better job than the VAs. And then starting off when you do not want to spend a lot of money hiring people, as you can tell, my partner is very sociable, so
Yeah.
he can he does the talking, and that's
Right,
why
right.
he's got most of the deals. So he has a good rapport with people. He builds rapport, and we
Yeah.
decided that with the VAs, we they weren't doing that. And he's very personable, so that's how we got most of the deals. Just talking. He would get out the car and talk to people standing in front of a house that's for sale, or he sees somebody working on a house, and he'll get out there and do it. So we've decided
Awesome.
for now to do it ourselves, and then maybe later on invest in VAs and other employees.
Yeah. A good initial step is like just to get the VA to maybe cold call and text a list for you. And then they're
Hmm.
they're just trying to get a warm lead, someone that says, "Yeah, I'm interested," and that's it.
Yeah.
And then from that point, when they just say, "I'm interested," then Kim comes in and closes the deal, right? So, because calling hundreds and hundreds of people, that's a lot of your time, right? So if you can outsource
Correct.
that, and you're just talking to warm leads,
hmm
um, and the VA is doing all the getting all the rejections and people saying no, 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 and all of a sudden every day you're getting 5 warm leads, in your inbox saying they want to sell. Because
Yes.
all your VA is doing is saying, hey, we're investors in the area. Would you consider selling your house? Yes or no? And they say yes. There you go.
Oh,
Kim gets the deal. If they say no, they move on, and that saves you hours and hours of your time, so that you can talk to more sellers and do what you do best, Kim, as far as getting the deal signed up and closed.
but I want to do as many reps as possible. Yeah, totally honest. So, for me, what I did found out too is that if you're going to, I will say this: if you're going to hire a VA, what I've learned is we didn't do our due diligence. We had them for like 3 months, and we didn't go back and listen to. We didn't first off, we didn't train with them, which I think is hugely important. Um, to listen to certain things. Number one, always make sure that if they say no, that you do the follow up question. Do you have another property that you want to sell? Because I've gotten 2 deals just by asking that question. Do you have another property that you want to sell? Secondly, is are you an investor? Are a lot of times I get investors because they're not looking to sell, but they are looking to buy. So
Yeah.
part of our strategy definitely is to have that conversation with them, and it takes 10 minutes. Now I got this
Yeah.
investor, I build this rapport with him, and then thirdly, because Wanda and my other partner is a realtor, so I always pivot in and say, if someone says that they're not interested in selling, hey, are you looking to if you have a real if you're a realtor, if you know it's, so because we do, then now I can say you have someone that's looking for an apartment or looking to buy a house. So we pivot to that as well.
Right.
Creatively, we also now can say this is how I know that we'll make our number fairly easily, because we also now say to our investors, are you interested in creative finance? And if they don't know what that is, I'm not an expert in creative finance, but I do have a partner that is named Russell. Can we have him to give you a call? And
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I won't. No, no. Let me rephrase that. I'm sorry. A lot of investors, they just want to get from up under the property. They don't want to get a property away, but they don't mind waiting on a creative finance deal that Russell has to offer. So that's the only problem, is that if you have a VA, they're not equipped to ask all those questions like I am. Even Wanda's kind of point blank. you know.
That's why there's a progression with the VAs. I believe, like the
Right.
first the first step is just calling leads to get
Okay.
interested. And that's
Right.
it. Then you take over, right?
Right.
Right.
The second step is they actually analyze the deal and they actually come up with the correct offers. But then
Right.
they send you the deal and say, here are the offers. And then the third step with them, if they do good at that part, is they call the lead themselves, which a lot of VAs never get to that point, and you can't
Right.
really. Most VAs, I would say, you probably can't just give them free reins where they call the lead and make the offer themselves, because it's not going to work for them. So you got to figure out who they are and do they have the ability to do that, like you were saying, right? If they don't, then just have them get a person to raise their hand and then get them to analyze the deal and then present the deal to you and say, here, Kim, this seller wants an offer. Here's the numbers I got. Go ahead and call the lead back and make the offer, right? So
Right.
sometimes it's all the VA can do, and there's no negotiating with the VA. The VA is not going to be able to negotiate any
All
type
right.
of creative offer or anything, right? You just take over, which is great because they're going to save you hours and hours of time, right?
Right.
And I like what you said about talking to everybody, right? Like I did a training in the my mentorship group that how one relationship first I met the buyer. I met this one person, she was a buyer, and we've closed about maybe 8 or 10 deals together where they bought the property from us. And then she turned around and let us wholesale like 5 or 6 of her properties. So and then all of a sudden that one relationship, she gave us like 6 Airbnbs properties. So that one relationship turned into like 150 grand in profit and like, $4,000 a month in cash flow just from one person. So I like how you said like everyone you talk to, that seller could be a buyer,
Mhm.
Right.
that seller that you met, you wholesale the deal, all of a sudden turns around and says, I'm an investor, I buy properties, and all of a sudden you build that relationship with that person. And you never know, you may run into one person that has, 100 property rentals and they want to Airbnb 20 of them with you.
Right.
And that one relationship turned into 20 grand in profit a month because you made the phone call and you asked the questions, right? So, um, I think we were talking before we started recording that you're just focused like on wholesale, wholesale, wholesale. So I wanted to talk about that part as well
Okay.
with you. Like, you should be mixing up, not just wholesale, but also doing, the rent to own, creative offers, and Airbnb. And the reason being is because wholesaling is just transactional, right? You made the 70 grand, but there's no incoming profit keep coming
Right.
in.
Residual
Mhm.
income.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you added a rent to own offer where you stayed in the middle and you can maybe turn around Airbnb it or rent to own to someone else, or you added Airbnb management, um, you can learn how to manage it yourself, or you can partner with us and we can split profits on management on
Right.
that.
Right.
Uh, if you learn that, let's say that you keep doing what you're doing now, you focus on making the wholesale offers, but then you add these different offers. Hopefully, in 12 months from now, you have like 10 or 12 cash flowing rent to owns and Airbnbs. And now you don't even have to worry about wholesaling a deal this month because you got 10, maybe 15 grand a month coming in profit from cash
Mhm.
flowing property, right?
Right.
So I would say, I would add that as fast as possible to what you're already doing. Don't just make a wholesale offer, but make we recommend like rent to own offers and Airbnb management offers, and then turn around and cash flow them, right? Because I think that's the reason why we're all here is really for freedom, right? Have to We don't
Exactly.
work as hard anymore. So
Mhm.
if
Right.
you have if you have the 10 to 15 grand a month in cash flow, every single month in profit, you're not worried about getting the next deal or getting the next. You want to get the next deal, of course, but it's true freedom where you're like, I don't have to close any deals this month because I have enough cash flow coming in, right?
Right. So here's my philosophy on that. To be totally honest, I'm not great. Um, I won't say I'm not great at multitasking, but I'm better at staying focused on. I'm better at staying focused on one or two particular things. Now, for me, and this is just for me, you guys, Russell included. Wanda is more of the type that she says, okay, and we will do. Our goal is to have portfolio of Airbnbs as well as rental properties as well as doing X amount of flips as we progress. Me, I've got to stay focused. I'm the type that says I want this wholesale company to run itself. Um, that way we can pick and choose the properties that we want to pick out of. But I don't see the wholesale company in a year and a half. If we dedicate ourselves, this company should be able to sustain itself. Um, by
Mhm.
having a manager XOXO in a year and a half. Right now, I can't. I'm the type that I can't chase shiny pennies because that project over there is going to take away from what I'm doing over here. And if I can make 30 to 40 grand just doing this every month, that'll put us in a position that a year and a half from now, properties are gonna be there. So
I want
to
to
your, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I want to challenge your mindset on that because
Okay,
and the reason being is because I want you to think about it as this business is not transactional, but
right,
as relationships.
right,
So anytime you get on the phone with the owner, it's an actual human being that we're trying to help, right?
okay,
Well, if you only have a wholesale offer and that's all you do, um, you only you're putting him in this box where all I can do to help you is this, and if I can't do anything else to help you, right? But then if you add five or six different tools like that can help the other person, um, guess what? You're now solving their problem, right? So I like to look at it as this is another person on the other side, and
right.
I'm gonna love them the best I can via coming up with as many solutions to solve their
Right.
problems as I can, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was going to say
yeah,
though. That yeah, I'm sorry to interject. That's what I was going to say though. That's the one lane. But so where we progress in now is to say I have partners. So I'm still building a relationship with you and other partners to say, hey, we've got the creative finance in over here. Me personally, this is what I do. And because again, I'll get distracted. And if when you're a person that gets, because I know that I can do a lot of things well. So, and a lot of people out there are like that. So to your credit, you've been in the business long enough to say, I'm doing management, this, that, and the other. So for me though, and not necessarily for one, for me, we'll have a division, which right now, if we making them phone calls, we are telling people, hey, look, this is not your only option. Um, do you want to what do you want to do with the property? So the end goal is what's your exit plan? If we don't buy it on wholesale, what's your exit plan? Oh, you're going to sell it retail, or you want to create a finance deal. So
Right.
we have those platforms available to our clients as well. So don't get me wrong, I'm saying this is the only pitch I have.
Yeah.
No, that was initially. Right now, I'm just saying as far as us doing the ownership, even I've got partners right now that we find properties, they're willing to go in with us. I'm sure you as well. They're willing to go on the financial end with us, and contractors. They'll say, we'll do all the work. I'm cool with that. Let me invest over here, but I'm going to concentrate on this company, building this company. It's
Right.
I'm not just I'm not just a wholesaler. I have a wholesale company, and that's what this company is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Initial period. So does that make more sense? That we're
Yeah.
not just stuck doing this. Just
Yeah.
I've got to build this so it can sustain itself.
Yeah.
That's the exit plan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, yeah. So if you don't want to do the whole rental on Airbnb, you can send it to us. We'll partner with you on the deal.
Yeah.
Just send
Right.
it to
But
us.
right now.
Yeah, for
right.
right now, exactly. So I'm just
Right.
telling you, like we just did a deal in Florida, and the deal came in, and we offered her like over 100,000 less than what she wants.
Right.
And then we turned around and offered her to do rent to own, to do Airbnb, and then she was like, I'm interested in Airbnb. So we ran the numbers,
Right.
and you'll make like 1,000 more a month on Airbnb after paying our management fee. So we actually it's like a 4 unit building in Florida, and it's we're gonna profit close to 35,000, maybe even 40,000 a year,
Okay.
just because we had that other tool in our belt and not
Right.
just a cash offer, right?
Right.
So so yeah, I think adding that to it, you're gonna make a lot more profit.
Right.
And what's good about it is like you add all the tools, your leads, the leads that come in versus, conversion is gonna go lower. You're gonna make more profit. You
Right.
can, so it's gonna be, maybe you're at like a 30-to-1 ratio where you make 30 offers, you get one deal, and now it goes
Right.
down 15-to-1, right? So,
Absolutely.
so,
Well, that's what we got partners like you for.
right.
So I mean, no, with all seriousness, that's we have to find people that we can trust. You call, you got a bunch of people out here say, send us your deal and we're gonna partner up with you, blah blah. And I had a partner that kind of I felt like kind of screwed us around with something like that. So we have to find people that we can trust, that we can send this property to you, and you're gonna do the
Yeah.
right thing by us, because it's a shady business that we're in. There's a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
bad people out here. So yeah, but that's why we're comfortable with now saying, hey Russell, let's do this deal, handle the creative finance, or we'll send it to you and see what do you want to do with this, and then let's go from there. It's about doing the deals and making money, and developing these relationship partnerships that you squad up, as they say.
Exactly.
And just to add on to that, Russell, you have been a huge help to us. And I have joked with you as far as the deals that are hard to move for us. We always say, let's call Russell. He'll get this moved. He'll
Right.
have he'll have someone that's interested in this. And it's worked. It's worked every time. The last deal I think we did with you in Midlothian, that was
Yeah.
difficult. We had like
That was the dope.
three people that said yes, and then they pulled back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
We
then
have to move
we
fast
called
too. We have to
you.
get
Yeah,
We had to
we
get rid of
called you
gas.
and you got a ton of people over there and got us 3, 4 offers that day and went with the best one. So, and that
Right.
made the seller happy, that made everybody happy. So the ones
Yeah.
that's really, really tough for us, you've always moved them for. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. And actually like when starting out, like if you don't have a big buyers list, I recommend that for everyone is like partner with a big wholesaler. Why? Because they can move it faster and
Mm-hmm.
they can probably move it for more money than you. So it's like
Mm-hmm. And you
I've had
did.
I've had a lot,
And,
we do,
I
yeah,
would say you definitely, I would echo what Wanda's saying. You definitely, want to get with Russell if you're a new investor and you've got deals. And especially, you shouldn't grab deals that you can't take down. If the numbers are right, um,
yeah,
and you don't know what you're doing, you kind of screwing around with people's livelihood, and you don't know, So it's better to get somebody who knows what they're doing. We didn't know what we were doing. Russell, absolutely, a couple of deals, another deal that you did with us, that property had owners in it. It was guy was a jerk, and he had an owner. I mean, he had a tenant in there, which was a family member. And Russell, we got with you and one of the investors, and they took it down. You did it probably in a couple of hours. Only one person had to see the property, as a matter of fact. Came
right.
in, I met him, and he did the deal. So yeah, Russell, we definitely, if you guys are out there and you look for somebody who has, I don't even know how many investors you have, Russell, but I know if the numbers are there and the property is good, it'll go down the same day. They
Right.
don't hesitate. He's got great investors.
Yeah, and I see that mistake a lot where you know, most wholesale deals, of course, they contract it way too high, you know, and
Yeah,
that's because they don't have people looking over the deal, whether, you know, it's a
right,
good deal before they contract it. And then the seller thinks they're buying it because they just lied to the seller saying they're
right.
buying, and the seller moves out and all of a sudden they can't close, you know. It becomes a big mess. And then they start passing laws like in Illinois where you
Absolutely.
got to get a license to be wholesaling now because of all the mess where people are just, you know, not being honest and doing deals with integrity, you know. But and I see the opposite too. I see investors come to me with deals where, you know, they're trying to sell it for 80 and I'm like, bro, like I can sell this for 120 all day. Why are you, you
Right,
know, why are you selling this for 80?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
right.
opposite happens too, where they get it too high, and then some deals come to the table, and we're like, you know, we can sell this for a lot higher than you're marketing it for. So so yeah, I do recommend that for any. That I actually when I first started wholesaling, I didn't know nothing. I partnered with a guy that's been doing wholesaling in Chicago for a very long time before me. So I
Mm-hmm.
actually partnered with a big wholesaler that I sent him my deals because he had the buyers list, right? So if you don't have a buyer's list, that's what I recommend. Is like, man, get with someone that has a big buyer's list already. They'll sell it faster. Then you'll make more money. And on top of that, you should probably find someone with experience that knows what's a good offer. Like if you're out there, you're brand new, and you don't even know what a good offer is, and you're contracting deals, you're messing with people's lives, right? Like you
Right.
said. Yeah. So
100%.
Mm-hmm.
like for you guys should be mentoring other people, and before they contract it, you know, you should analyze the deal, make sure it's good before they actually move forward, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
Well, Wanda is in Russell we trust. So you guys, I'll say, are you sure about those numbers? I just screw it. Just send the deal to Russell. You sure about those numbers? So yeah.
Right.
So she had to get the confidence though, as a realtor, and she had to get the confidence to trust her numbers too. So that was
Yeah.
important for Wanda.
Yeah. Now, are you guys doing like regular listings with deals you don't get under contract as a wholesale? Like, are you offering that or no?
We
We
will start. We've been yeah. I'm sorry, Wanda. Go ahead. Take it.
occasionally, yes, occasionally we will offer to list it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, depending on the conversation with the seller and where they are.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good another tool, you know, like if the wholesale doesn't work and they just want to sell it. Like we just did a deal where we basically it didn't work for a wholesale because we needed like 20 grand less, and then we ended up just listing it and we ended up making like a 30 grand commission on a deal we sold for like 60 grand. So, um, like if you never have that tool in your offer in your belt, then I would have walked away from 30 grand in profit, right? So,
Mm.
um,
Mhm.
something you guys should also, add on to your offers.
It may work with the one that we were just trying to partner with you on
Yeah,
107th, because the number that we gave them was lower than they wanted, so we could go back and ask if he
yeah,
wants to list that.
yeah. Like we just get a straight option agreement, and want the price they want, and then we can add our fee on top of that. And of course,
Mhm.
we tell them exactly what we're doing. We're honest. We tell them we're going to add our fee on top, and they're okay with it. They sign off on it, and then we put it on the market. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
We'll try
awesome.
that with this last one.
This has been a great interview. So next step for you guys, I think, is yeah, I would consider mentoring people. Like what I do,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure I'm 100% positive. You just put a post on Facebook today and say, hey, I made 70 grand without investing any money, any cash, any credit, and I didn't get any debt. Are you guys interested in learning? And then just post that on Facebook today, and then you'll probably get 10 people that say, yeah, sign me up. And then you have
Well, I'm actually going to start a podcast. It's one of the things that I'm going to start. Just
awesome.
from honestly, just letting people know we're at ground level, and this is what we're doing. This is what we've done, and walk people through the journey. So I'll also be talking to you about that as well, Russell. So you probably
Yeah,
partner up and see what we come on my podcast. Help
yeah,
I've got some people that's expert in growing uh, you know social media. I was really, really big in entertainment space at one point. So, I'm kind of, it burned me out. So that's another reason why I was trying to, not get back into it, but it's a necessary evil, period, whether I want to or not. So,
right.
and something else, Russ, before we go, for those out there, what if they want to get into wholesaling? What would you tell them the best way to do it is right now? You got dropped in another city. Uh, what would you what would
I would
you have
say
to get the deal done in 30 days?
you gotta focus. You gotta focus on one market. You can't be. There's some people that get started and they go, I wholesale nationwide, and they haven't done a deal yet. They're like, what do you mean you wholesale nationwide? You gotta pick a
Right.
market. You gotta pick a market and go all in on that market, right? I would just pick one market that's maybe a hot market and contact every for sale by owner for rent that has their property on, make an offer with everybody. I would go to every real estate meeting in the market, or
What about draft for dollars?
every meeting that you go for. Driving for dollars is great. I would pull all the tax delinquents, pre-foreclosures, probates, all the distress lists. I would start cold calling that list, texting that list, emailing that list. Um, and doing what you did, like that's something I never even actually heard anyone do before. So going to the court, going to the courthouse, and people are meeting on their violations on their property, and all those owners are probably really pissed because they have violations. So, and you're meeting them face to face, like, hey, I can solve your problem right now. Let's go look at your property. So
Mhm.
Let me drop another one that I'm not sure people are familiar with. What I did was, and I'm gonna create this as well. Um, I'm going to create my own street marketing team by using service operators, postal workers, just walking up telling them, you know, that we'll give you some sort of kickback if the property goes through. I want to reach 500 postal workers in the areas that I'm looking for.
yeah,
2 areas: postal workers, any type of service workers, um, um, city workers, violation people that's in your area, and just getting them and building that you're building your own street team that's helping you out. And most of those people won't help, but if you do 100, and you get 5 that's sending you properties in their area, then you've got your own street
Yeah.
team that you created.
Yeah.
So that's something I actually started, but I didn't follow through with it. But
That's
I
a good
will.
idea, yeah. Like anytime they see an ugly vacant house, send
Absolutely.
you the address,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Postal workers, they already got them.
And
They
then
already got 'em.
every
I've
deal
had
you
postal
close,
workers send me property.
yeah, every deal you close, you can like give them, $1,000 or
Yeah.
bucks or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
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 So that's a big one that I'm gonna really
Mm-hmm.
concentrate on this year. I'm gonna concentrate on getting 500 workers, street team people, even people that's cutting yards. Some of them are doing for banks, and some of
Yeah.
them are doing them personally, and
Yeah.
just walk up to anybody that's working in the community.
Yeah. Landscaping companies know a lot,
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Mm-hmm.
and even also this one, Russell. If you see contractors work on a house, walk up to those contractors and find out if they're working for themselves or if they're working for investors. Most of them are working. A lot of them are working for investors.
Right.
Or you picking up contractors. Just talk to people in the neighborhood.
Exactly. Awesome, guys. I gotta run because I
Okay.
have my nephew's third birthday party to get to. My
Okay. Great.
Oh, that
wife is
sounds like fun.
like,
Okay.
"What time you gonna be
Right.
done? We gotta go."
Okay. All right.
So
So we definitely need to get with you on
yeah,
our end. To talk to you maybe tomorrow, Monday. So we could we wanna go ahead and move forward and scale.
yeah,
Again, if we got to get these deals done creatively. Creatively, I know we're gonna get it done. So we need to make sure we partner up with you to make this happen. So I want to actually sit down with you with a game plan to make it happen, not just talk about it.
yeah. What I want to do is get you guys, if you're not in the membership Facebook group, I think Wanda is, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
want you to like kind of go through it and kind of do like a step back and be like, what is Russell really doing here? And
Okay.
I'm giving, and in return, people are knowing who I am, and then they're sending me deals. So
Okay.
I think that's something like you guys want to look at doing in the future. You mentor people. You can mentor people for free. You can do it paid, whatever you want to do. But basically, I'm mentoring people for free in this Facebook group, and then people are sending me deals as they get them
Absolutely. Right.
because
Right.
I provided the
Right.
value,
Yes.
So
Right.
I think that's something that you should try to start that as quickly as possible,
Okay.
like because
Okay.
if you close at least 5 deals, I think most people get stuck there and they don't ever start building a team and mentoring people and start outsourcing a lot of stuff that you can make more offers with more people, right? So it's all about leverage. The more people I have on my team making offers, the more leverage I have, the more deals I can close, right?
Okay. Great.
Awesome. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. We appreciate you.
All
Hey,
right.
appreciate you guys' time. This was a really good interview. Appreciate you guys.
Okay. So we'll
Thank you,
reach out to
Russell.
you. We'll reach out to you Monday and get this thing started.
Yeah. All
It
right.
works.
Yeah, that
All
works. Reach out.
right. Thank you,
All
Russell.
right. Thanks.
Guys.
Bye bye, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.